2 names of those who passed away with COVID were added to the death count on Tuesday. For News Talk 1480 WHBC, I'm Pam Cook.
Now, your local weather forecast. Stick with us. News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your Accuweather forecast. Cloudy skies for most of the time today. A shower in spots for late this afternoon. Our high today, 53. Cloudy with a shower this evening. That'll be followed by a snow shower or two late tonight, low 27. Clouds and a much colder day tomorrow. High tomorrow at 32. For tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low 21. And then clouds and not as cold on Friday. The high Friday at 40. I'm Steve Williams for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday edition of Spotlight. Glad to have you along with us again today. And remember, you can listen to us online and you can watch us on Facebook right now and also on our YouTube channel. So if you have a chance to do that, or if you miss any of this interview, you can always check back a little bit later on and see how things are and take a listen for yourself. We'd love to do that. Love for you to do that. And today we're going to share with you the story of SarahCare, Daytime Senior Care and Activities. And we welcome in this morning Dr. Merle Griff. Good morning, Dr. Merle. How are you?
It's so great to see you again.
Yes, you too. Glad to have you with us this morning, and really glad to be able to talk again about SarahCare, because I think it's such an important thing for the community, and just like to bring it to the forefront, everybody to hear about it. Let's start off maybe talking a little bit about the mission and what SarahCare does.
SarahCare, we take care of primarily during the day. We always say 101 activities and by dinner. Don't want to be confused with home, or people come to us during the day, have lots of fun, great food, catered for by the Caregiver Club, lots of fun, they meet friends, but we can take care of their health care while they're with us because we're staffed with RNs and LPNs, and we can do personal care during the day. So we can take care of their health. They have lots of fun. They get out. They're active. It's so much better for them than staying.
Yeah. And this is something that's very prevalent these days because so many people are looking for help in this realm, correct? Mm-hmm. People for their parents, and just there's a time and a need, and I would imagine that grows more and more each day.
Well, it does, and especially through the pandemic, we've seen families really suffering and really needing, more respite and more care. And it's not only parents, Pam. We see a lot of spouses. Because part of the trend has been we're seeing people in their 50s, as low as their 50s. We used to say 65 and above, and now it's people in their 50s. So a lot of people are still working, and so they need our services during the day so they can continue to work. We take care of a lot of families for nurses and first responders and veterans, which we're very proud to do.
Yeah, and how did you take care of the folks during the pandemic, the folks that were coming to SarahCare?
We actually put up, we have very, very strict infection control procedures that were developed for us by our nurses. They're across the board. We put up partitions. We limit how people are seating and where they're sitting. We test them before they actually come into the center. So if anyone's running a temperature, they're not allowed in that day, or they're not showing any symptoms. We test everyone, including staff, once a week. We're still testing on a weekly basis. And cleaning surfaces that people touch constantly through the day. And everyone now has their own activity packets. So everyone has their very own bingo chips. And their very own drawing utensils in their own little package. There's no more reaching in the box and taking out, something that you want, bingo chip, pencil, marker, whatever it is you want. It's not happening anymore. Yeah, and lots of glass partition and mask. We're still masking when we can.
So talk about an average day for a person who comes to SarahCare, who's there. What's a day start out like, and what's it like for them?
Well, they usually arrive. We, get them, they sign in. They get a name tag, which usually is in a lanyard around their neck. Our lanyards are actually color coded. So if someone is a fall risk, we know immediately. And their name tags have on them symbols. So if someone is a diabetic, if someone else, is an elopement risk, it shows up on a symbol. But they come in the morning, they're greeted by staff and by friends. They have coffee, they have a light breakfast, and we discuss the news and what's going on in the world in the day. They then launch into an activity, and we always have 3 or 4 different activities going on at the same time. So it's just not one activity, and if you don't like it, well, kind of tough. There's always 3 or 4 activities going on at the time based on someone's ability to do that activity. Some of it is interest. We have our own men's/veterans club because they wanted their own club. So people could be doing baking, they could be doing crafts, they could be doing art, they could be doing current events. We design our programs and our activities around people and what their interests are. So they have their main activity in the morning, then they have this delicious lunch. I can't get past the lunch, sorry, I'm very food oriented. Club gives us a great lunch, terrific lunch. We then have a short rest period, and then they go into their main afternoon activity, then another snack, and then many people go home after that. And by then they're pretty tired. We do a lot of services during the day. We have a small mini hair salon so people can get their hair done, they can get a color done, they can get a manicure. Podiatrist comes in on a regular basis, they can get a pedicure. We have roll-in showers so we can do bathing during the day. We're really trying to take care of as many services as possible while people are with us during the day.
And that's got to be a great relief for caregivers because obviously they're there, and so that somebody maybe can go to work or even have a day to themselves, but also all of those things that need to be taken care of, because that's a whole separate issue too, is getting them to doctor's appointments and things.
Right. Or taking someone to the podiatrist or getting them to take their hair done. I've taken care of my mother after she had a dense stroke in my home. And I took care of my husband for many years before he passed away in my home. So I really have tried to bring those experiences that I had as a family caregiver into SarahCare. And so we are trying to take care of as many things as possible. So when someone goes home at the end of the day, talk about what a great day they had and the activities they did and what they learned. And the family is not, oh my gosh, I got to take them here, I got to take them there, or they have to be bathed, because we've taken care of all that during the day. And I can't stress enough that even when people are having fun and having great food and lots of activities, our nurses are always there. So they're always monitoring their health. They can administer medications. They can watch them very carefully, and they're in constant communication with someone's physician, making sure their care is the best possible.
Yeah, and that was the next thing I was going to bring up is the nurses there, because obviously people are concerned about safety too, and so that's a big thing. That's a big priority for you guys as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're taking care of someone who just may be very frail, and the family is concerned that they may fall during the day or forget to take their meds, or they're getting isolated and depressed, all the way to people who have had stroke or Parkinson's disease, to someone with some form of dementia. So our nurses play a very important role in keeping people safe and healthy.
All right, we're going to take our first break, and we will come back and get some more information about SarahCare. There's so much to tell you, and also their connection with the Alzheimer's Association. Some good stuff there as well. We will do all of that and more right here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
A monthly subscription?
A monthly subscription?
That's not us.
No paywall here, just the facts. News, sports, and weather.
Free and easy. That's our website, WHBC.com.
It's filled with local news, sports features, and schedules.
Whenever you want it.
Podcasts, pictures, videos, and more, all at WHBC.com.
You can put your debit card away. We're free.
Just turn us on. It doesn't cost anything. 1480 WHBC.
I'm here with Greg Ayler, host of Expedition Retirement. Greg, you talk about Retirement Mountain, the saving and the investing part. That's the way up. The getting down, what's different about that?
Well, at that point, you're going from the strategy of grow, grow, grow to really protection and preservation. And you really got to think, what can hurt me the most as I'm going down this mountain? And for us, it's 4 big boulders: taxes, market risk, fees, and last but not least, the big one is the long-term care boulder that can really disrupt your way down.
Our complimentary roadmap for retirement is designed to handle these boulders. Call for yours today. 330-578-7178. That's 330-578-7178. Or at getyourroadmap.com.
Investment advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives at Golden Reserve RIA, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through licensed professionals at Golden Reserve, LLC, NPN number 165-54111.
Illegal narcotics continue to flow into the country from the southern border.
The coast-to-coast crime wave brought to you by Democrats' weak and completely irresponsible crime policies.
Liberals are demonizing and defunding our police. Ohio needs a senator who will stand up for our law enforcement and back the blue. Take it from County Sheriff Mark Vaselishin.
In the legislature, Matt Dolan delivered for law enforcement. Funding, training, equipment, you name it, so we can keep our community safe. When Matt Dolan tells you he'll protect Ohio, take it from us. He'll keep his word. We support Matt Dolan for U.S. Senate.
Matt Dolan is the only candidate for U.S. Senate with a record of fighting crime and protecting Ohio as a prosecutor, assistant Ohio Attorney General, and now powerful state senator. No wonder the head of the National Sheriff's Association, a fellow Ohioan, has endorsed Matt Dolan for U.S. Senate. Matt Dolan, a conservative with results.
I'm Matt Dolan, and I approve this message. Paid for by Dolan for Ohio.
Hey, the Roadman Kenny Rhoda here for Froggy's Car Wash with 2 locations for your convenience. One of them there in Perry Township and the newest, bestest, and largest car wash at Belton on Everhard Road. Get unlimited car washes for one price, starting with plans at $20 a month plus free vacuums. That's unlimited washes all month long for less than $1 a day, and you won't find a car wash that gets your car cleaner than Froggy's. The foam waterfall, the hot wax, the tire shine, paint protectant, and spot-free drying rinse. All the soap they use is non-corrosive, won't hurt your car, and they have high-powered blowers leaving your car dry and spotless. Love that. It's fast. It's easy. It only takes minutes while you stay in the car. What are you waiting for? Take advantage of Froggy's and what they have to offer in the new year. Unlimited monthly plans with free vacuums starting at just $20 a month. So take your car to Froggy's Car Wash with 2 locations, including the newest one that's now open at Belton Village on Everhard Road, and tell them the Roadman sent you.
How's your husband now that he can't quite take care of himself? Or how's your wife now that getting around isn't as easy as it used to be? You'd know if your spouse was at SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities. A full day of customized activities and they're home by dinner. And nursing care that's right there with them. How's your spouse? Just fine. At SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities. Try it for free. Call 330-451-6108 for one free day of care at SarahCare.
At Packley, they pride themselves on serving families in Massillon and the surrounding areas with dignity, respect, and compassion. The families they serve are their top priority and have set measures in place to help protect and accommodate the elderly, sick, and members of the public. And will make every effort to accommodate families in making arrangements, conducting services in any capacity needed to ensure their safety and comfort while honoring their loved one. Packley, serving the community with grace and compassion.
Did you know that 3 Ohioans are diagnosed with oral cancer every day? Dentists are doctors of dental surgery and can recognize life-threatening conditions and treat oral diseases before they become serious health complications. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Imagine a world where one app can deliver all of your favorite brands and more. With DoorDash, get everyday essentials like groceries, convenience items, and your favorite local restaurants delivered. For a limited time, get 50% off and 0 delivery fees on your next order of $15 or more using promo code ORDER50 when you download the DoorDash app or go to DoorDash.com. That's 50% off, up to a $12 value and 0 delivery fees on your next order when you use code ORDER50. Subject to change, terms apply. Get more from your neighborhood with DoorDash.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
And welcome back, everyone. I am Pam Cook with you here on 1480 WHBC. And we again are sharing with you the story of SarahCare, daytime senior care and activities. And again, if you are listening on the radio, we are so happy about that. And you can listen to us online also and watch us on Facebook and also watch us on YouTube whenever you would like to do that. You can check it out. If you miss any of the interview, please make sure you go and check that out as well. Dr. Merle Griff this morning. And it's interesting because Dr. Merle, I've been to your center. I've seen the folks who are there, and I'm laughing when you're talking about them all doing their own favorite activities, and they're very serious about what they're doing and which ones they choose, and the news that they get. And I just remember visiting each and every one, and it was great. It was great because they were enjoying it so much. I would have to imagine that when people come there, not only the caregivers, but the people themselves that are there must give you some great feedback too.
Oh, they do. They love coming. And we often hear from families over the weekend, that their family member will say, why am I still home? Isn't coming to pick me up? What's going on? My friends are waiting for me, or, I want to go to SarahCare for whatever reason. So yeah, the participants are, it's interesting. One time I decided that the furniture needed to be rearranged in one of my centers. All right. And the staff said, no. And I said, no. We need to rearrange it so people are facing each other more. So I rearranged it that night, came in the next morning, and one of the guys who's been with us for actually 11 years, all right, called me over and he's like, hey, get over here. So I said, what's up, Ron? He's like, did you rearrange this furniture? And I said, yeah. And he said, why? And I said, because I thought it'd be better you could face each other and talk to each other. He's like, look, we have a system here. My friend John, who sits next to me, we have a system. I don't see very well. He doesn't hear very well. So between the two of us, we everybody who walks in here and everything that's going on, and you just really screwed up my system. Get the furniture back, Merle. So I'm like, fine, Ron.
That's funny. And that's the impression. Exactly that is the impression that I got when I came to visit. I loved it. And that has to make you feel good, because obviously they take ownership of it, and it's very, very homey to them. They feel like it's their home.
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
do. They do. They're very comfortable. And in terms of, we've had, for instance, former physicians and attorneys who have been with us, and we do some pretty creative programming. For one of the attorneys, we actually gave him an office. We gave him a small office and a Wall Street Journal every day, and actually blank copies of real estate leases that he actually, and when he first came to us, his wife said, I really don't want to put him in a nursing home. I really don't want to. But he has fired every home health care worker I've had in the house. I don't know what to do. I'm absolutely beside myself. So we gave him an office and we put his name on the door and his Wall Street Journal and his leases, and he was happy and she was happy because he was able to stay at home.
That's the creativity that at SarahCare that you guys come up with that, goes above and beyond. There's no doubt about that. There's an example of a person who's looking, maybe it's at their last wits. They're looking for help. And talk about the caregiver. You guys offer some help for caregivers too, besides the obvious of taking care of their loved one.
Yeah, it's very important to us. It's a very important part of the work. I mean, as I said before, having been a caregiver for my mother and my husband, you see it differently. I'm a psychologist by training, and I see it one way as a professional. But when you've actually been in that situation and you know what it's like to be sleep deprived, and just have the stress of taking care of your family member, even though you love them and you want to do that, it's still exhausting and it's hard. So we see as part of what we do that's really important is taking care of the family caregiver. One of the nurses told me recently she had a new family that enrolled, and she was talking to the wife, and she said to her, how are you doing? And what can we do to really help you? And the woman started to cry. She started sobbing in her office. And the nurse said to me, I felt like really bad, like I had upset her, and I was really upset. And she's like, I'm really sorry. I didn't want to make you cry. And she said, you know what? You're the first person who has asked me, how am I doing? What do I need? What can we do to help you to make this easier for you? And she said, no one has asked me that. So she was crying, but we do that. In addition to our support groups, helping provide services, finding resources for families, for other services and other things that they need.
Now, talk about the scheduling of it all and maybe the cost. People, can they schedule? Is it flexible? I mean, how does that all work?
Well, we usually require a minimum of 2 days a week. That's based on research by Dr. Zaret at Penn State that showed that people do their best when they come to at least 2 days a week. Otherwise, it's not consistent, and they tend to forget, and this way they form relationships. Other than that, it's up to the family. And so we have people who come 5 days a week because they're working. We have people come 2 days a week. They can choose which days are best for them. Once we know someone and we know the family, we do every once in a while get a call from a spouse or a child, an adult child who says, I had a really tough night, or I'm not feeling good. I know Dad's not supposed to be there today, but can I bring him in? And we're like, fine, we're going to work with you and support with you. The cost is actually less than home care. So Medicaid pays for this. VA, Veterans Administration, will pay for a veteran to come. And if it's on a private pay basis, our beginning rate is $75. Maximum rate is $90. That's for an entire day. So home care is now, and this is nothing against home care because we work closely with home care, but they're charging $25 an hour with a 4-hour minimum. That's $100. So for $75, you can come to us for the entire day, and that includes everything. All the activities, all the food, all the services, the nursing services, that includes everything.
Now, do they make trips out of the center?
Well, pre-pandemic.
Yeah, okay.
We were out all the time. We went out to lunch, we went to concerts, we went to movies. We have a lot of adaptive sports. So we took people fishing, we took people bowling, we took people golfing. We were out all the time, because our feeling is always, if you're going to sit in front of a television, you can do that at home. We don't want you doing that when you're with us. So we went out a lot. It's been a little more challenging with the pandemic. So we try to do things like, although our food is great, we may take a day and say, we're going to order in from a specific restaurant. So here's the menu, choose your food, and we're going to do it a little differently. But we're hoping as things get better, eventually, we're going to go back to going out as frequently as we were before.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're going to take our break for the news. And when we come back, we are going to talk more about participation with the Alzheimer's Association. And we're going to bring in Cheryl Kanetsky to talk more about that with Dr. Merle Griff, and some exciting news about that you want to stay tuned for. All of that and more coming up on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
Medicine Center pharmacies have been serving our local community for over 40 years. Our customers know they can count on our pharmacy staff, save money, and trust us. Stop by any of our Medicine Center pharmacy locations in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, or visit us online at medshoprx.com.
Your family deserves the purest water possible, and Verndale Water Experts have been providing pure perfection and water softening for over 60 years. They know more about clean, affordable water than anyone. Verndale is pure perfection. Visit verndalewater.com. Verndale Water Experts.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, President Joe Biden mentioned Ohio twice in his State of the Union address last night. First, he honored Ohio veteran and burn pit victim Heath Robinson of Pickerington, who died in 2020, calling him a model soldier. Robinson's wife was in attendance. The president also touted Ohio for bringing the huge $20 billion Intel project to Licking County and called it the Field of Dreams. Biden's speech lasted a little over an hour. He received bipartisan applause and support when discussing the battle against Russia and the need to fund police throughout our country. Abbott has recalled more baby formula following the death of a second baby. The FDA says cans of Similac PM 6040 are contaminated. Liquid formula is not included in the recall. You can find out more details at similacrecall.com. Peak bloom predictions have been announced for Washington, D.C.'s cherry blossoms. The National Park Service says a lot of work goes into keeping the 3,700 cherry trees in good condition. The Cherry Blossom Festival will officially kick off on March 20th. It marks the 110th anniversary of that festival. After once again failing to reach an agreement with the Players Union, Major League Baseball officials have postponed opening day and canceled the league's first week of games. For News Talk 1480 WHBC, I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Mainly cloudy skies continuing this afternoon with a shower in places. High for the rest of the day, 53. Then cloudy tonight, shower in the evening, couple of snow showers late, and a low of 27. Turning much colder tomorrow. We'll have clouds giving way to some sunshine. High on Thursday, 32. Then mostly cloudy skies on Friday. High on Friday, 40. I'm Holly Holdren for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
It's not all serious stuff. Jordan Miller actually thinks he's funny.
They were out stocking shelves. They had the carts. I almost got ran over a couple times by forklifts. But other than that, I was here to tell the story right here on News Talk 1480 WHBC this morning.
Not sure how many of the rest of us do, though. It's Jordan Miller, live and local, 10 to noon, Monday through Friday on 1480 WHBC. It's Kenny and JT.
Hey, Kenny, it seems as though we're not going to have baseball anytime soon, but today is day 2 of the NFL Combine.
We'll get you caught up on high school basketball and the Cavaliers as well.
Forget that. I just want to see what our needs are for the Browns, man. I want a defensive end.
I want a wide receiver. You call us on the phones and tell us what you think the Browns need.
It's the Kenny and JT Show, weekdays between 3 and 7 on WHBC.
Where's your mom? What's she doing? You'd know if she was at SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities. You'd know she's enjoying a full day of activities programmed just for her interests, like art classes, volunteering, pet care, and card club. And she's home by dinner. And what's different is that SarahCare actually has nursing care right there with her. So you'd know. Try one free day of care at SarahCare. Call 330-451-6108. How's your mom? She's just fine at SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities.
Cornelius Altman was Stark County's first honest-to-goodness millionaire. He died having started 37 businesses around the world, but he's best remembered for the equipment he made to modernize farms across America. Today, he's remembered as the name on the hospital where hundreds of thousands of Stark County residents took their first breath.
I'm Larry Hackenberg, and Altman's life is just one of the difference makers we've explored on our Time Machine radio shows. But today, I'd like to tell you about Hackenberg Financial Group, the difference makers with a more modest focus. We only want to make a difference in one life, yours, with custom strategies to smooth your life and retirement. Visit hackenberg.biz and explore the difference makers who work one life at a time.
And welcome back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC. We have been talking about SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities with Dr. Merle Griff. And I want Dr. Merle, before we go bring in our special guest, which we have coming up here in just a few minutes, I want you to talk about SarahCare on vacation, because I think that's a really cool thing that you guys do and is pretty important to a lot of people.
Right. So we have SarahCare centers in 14 states. We're about to expand that into an additional 5 states. But if someone is with us and enrolled in one of the SarahCare centers, and let's say the family is going to Florida or North Carolina for the winter or for vacation, then and we have a SarahCare center there, then they can enroll their family member in the SarahCare center there seamlessly. It means the paperwork follows them. The nurses are speaking to the nurses in that center. Activity coordinators are speaking to the activity coordinators there. So we try to make it as seamless as possible. We once had a family with us, and they used SarahCare on vacation for our center in Pittsburgh. And I said to the adult daughter, who I knew very well, I said, I don't understand why you've done this, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just Pittsburgh. It's 2 hours away. And she said, Merle, my mom was very happy in the SarahCare Pittsburgh, and it's the first time in many, many years that my sister and I were actually able to go out and spend the day together. And we had a great time, and mom was well taken care of. We knew she was great, and, she was safe, and we had a great time. So SarahCare on vacation makes it seamless for families to be able to travel from one state to another.
Is that something that they should be, like registered with you guys first here before they would go somewhere else? Is that how that would work?
They can be enrolled in any SarahCare center that we have. It doesn't have to be here in Ohio. Could be, in any of the states we're in.
Okay, great. All right. So you have a new program that you are bringing about, and this is involving the Alzheimer's Association. And so this morning we're going to bring on our guest. Her name is Cheryl Kanetsky, and she is with us this morning. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you. I'm great. Glad to be here.
So Dr. Merle, maybe explain to us a little bit about this partnership and this involvement with Alzheimer's Association.
Well, I'm going to let Cheryl talk about it, but they have a very, very special, very, very special donor who has granted them money to pay for respite for family caregivers of those with dementia. And Cheryl came to us recently. They were only using actually home care, which was working great, it's a great program. But they wanted to expand it and expand their reach and expand options of care. And so now we've become part of their pilot project. And so I'll let Cheryl explain in more detail, but basically, if people meet the criteria, they can come to SarahCare during the day, basically for free because of this donor. But I'll let Cheryl explain.
Yes, please do.
Great. Well, like as Merle said, we were contacted by this amazing gentleman who had a vision to fund a program. We call it the Caregiver Relief Program. And he was a longtime caregiver for his wife who had a form of dementia and had the ability to hire in-home care to allow him to get out, play golf, still see his friends for lunch, basically take a break from his 24-hour caregiving duties. And as he reflected on looking back at caring for his wife, realized that that was such an important way that he stayed refreshed and energized to be there for her. And he wanted to be able to give people who don't have the ability to pay for that kind of care the option of having that kind of break. So long story short, in working with him, we set up this program that launched last July, as Merle said, just with home care agencies at that point. And it's been going well. We're trying to cover 22 counties. Some of the areas aren't perfectly covered like we had hoped, but we're working real hard to get that there. And when I learned about SarahCare and their goals and programming really aligned so closely with the intention of this program, I reached out to begin to explore and have conversations about the opportunity to do a pilot, bringing this program for the first time to an adult day health model.
So when you reached out to, when she reached out to you, Dr. Merle, what was your first reaction? What were you thinking?
Well, we were really excited because, to have respite care available for people who are not able to afford it. The people kind of fall in the middle. They don't qualify for Medicaid, but they don't quite have enough income to pay for care privately. And this gap is always a problem for all of us who are trying to help people and trying to help families. So this was such a blessing. Cheryl did, and her team did put us through our paces to vet us. But
And Cheryl, maybe you can explain a little bit about how it works. Like, how does a person get involved if a family is interested, or someone right now is listening or watching and says, oh, "Hey, I need that. What do I do?"
Well, the first step is to reach out to the Alzheimer's Association. We have a dedicated phone number where they can call just for this program. It's 216-206-8389. And inquire. We go through an eligibility conversation with the family. We do have a few eligibility questions that we ask. Primarily what we're looking for is a caregiver who is providing daily care. That could be living with the individual or going to their house on a daily basis to support them. That the individual has some form of cognitive impairment. So that could be Alzheimer's, any form of dementia. It does not have to be diagnosed. So just observable and some symptoms that they're living with. They have to not be able to privately pay for these services. And finally, not be receiving any other program assistance that pays for these services like Passport or VA or a county levy program. So once we establish all of those factors in place, then they're eligible and they are connected with some care options. At this point, we'd be talking to them certainly about the SarahCare opportunity and hoping and talking to them about, checking it out and seeing if it's a good fit for them.
Okay, and is there a phone number or anything that they can call, or what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Yep, the phone number 216-206-8389. They can also email us at caregiverreliefprogram@alz.org. CaregiversCommunity.org.
Okay, and there's a lot of good information with all of this. We still have some more things to cover. We'll take our quick break here before we get back to our final segment, and we'll have a lot more information on that program and some other things that SarahCare is involved in, and we will do that here on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
High school sports. This is the right place. News Talk 1480, WHBC.
Joe Biden is driving America into the ditch. And what's the plan from most of the Ohio Senate candidates? Tweets, likes, and talk. Matt Dolan is different. Matt Dolan is the only conservative running for Senate who's delivered real conservative results. Dolan cracked down on illegal immigration, labeling foreign drug cartels as terrorists. On the economy, Dolan stopped the Democrats' billion-dollar tax grab and instead cut taxes for every Ohio taxpayer. And as a county prosecutor, Dolan backed the blue and locked up violent criminals. Ohio needs a senator to take on Biden and his failed agenda. But retweets, likes on social media, and talk won't cut it. Conservatives are lining up behind Matt Dolan for Senate, the only conservative running who's delivered real results. Dolan gets it done. Paid for by Buckeye Leadership Fund Incorporated. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.buckeyeslead.org.
Crown keeps you warm and we keep you cool.
We're here for you day or night.
There it is. If you've lived in Northeast Ohio for any length of time, you knew the snow was coming. And now that it's here, it's time to go outside and build a snowman with the kids. Then come inside, stamp the snow off your boots, and make some hot chocolate in the cozy, wonderful warmth. But it's also time to make sure your furnace is just as ready for the winter cold as you are. Call Crown Heating and Cooling today so you can be confident your furnace is up to the job. If you have an older heating system, Crown is here to make sure it's running in tip-top shape. Or maybe you're ready for a new energy-efficient, state-of-the-art Carrier heating system. You'll stay comfortable and save on utility costs as well. Turn to the experts at Crown Heating and Cooling and Carrier for indoor comfort, winter and summer, and find out what Crown can do for you. With Crown, estimates are always free. Call today and let Crown show you how much you can save when you turn to the Carrier experts at Crown. Call 330-499-4988 or on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling. You'll be sure you have the best Crown.
When it comes to understanding your options for buying or building a home, refinancing your current mortgage, or finally adding that sunroom, CSB is here to help. Check out our video series at csb1.com titled Mortgage 101. This informational series covers everything from what to know before you buy your home to life after your mortgage is paid off. Our mortgage experts will handle the details. Call or text us at 800-654-9015. The Commercial and Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
How's your husband now that he can't quite take care of himself? Or how's your wife now that getting around isn't as easy as it used to be? You'd know if your spouse was at SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities. A full day of customized activities and they're home by dinner. And nursing care that's right there with them. How's your spouse? Just fine. At SarahCare Daytime Senior Care and Activities. Try it for free. Call 330-451-6108 for one free day of care at SarahCare.
This ad for Hellsberg Diamonds has been specifically written for those who'd rather think about football than engagement rings. When free agency starts, your team wants to get the best players they can without spending too much. If your team is you and the players are engagement rings, then your best bet in free agency is shopping at Hellsberg Diamonds, where you know you'll get the highest quality diamonds at prices that keep you from going over the salary cap. Visit your local Hellsberg store and ask about our price match guarantee or check us out at hellsberg.com.
I'm the mother of 3 boys. My youngest loves sports, music, and his youth group. One day, we were going through a green light when another car ran a red light and hit us. The National Safety Council estimates 1 in 4 car crashes involves a cell phone. Hands-free is no safer. Visit nsc.org/callskill.
Provided by News Talk 1480 WHBC.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and
It's
Fox.
not all serious stuff. Jordan Miller actually thinks he's funny.
So you're saying the best way, doctor, to get correct information and informed decision is to talk to your doctor, not get it on Facebook. I just want to make sure I'm clear.
I think that there is a real value in talking with the pediatrician or your healthcare provider to have that honest conversation for sure.
All right. Well, that's great to know.
Live and local, 10 to noon, Monday through Friday on 1480 WHBC.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
And welcome back to Spotlight on Starr County, and today talking about SarahCare, daytime senior care and activities, and Dr. Merle Griff with me this morning. And, you know, Dr. Merle, I wanted to do one more thing also talking about SarahCare that we didn't really get to because it's a new year. It's 2022. And what is there in the future in the new year for you guys? I know your mind is always cranked and thinking of new things and coming up with good stuff for folks. What kind of things do you have planned for the new year?
Well, one of the new programs we just introduced is Telehealth. So, of course, in the age of the pandemic, everyone has been seeing their physicians online, but we're now offering that at no charge within our centers. So instead of having your telehealth appointment with your doctor from your home, you can do it from the SarahCare Center. The advantage is your family can still participate through telehealth with that. But then the physician is speaking to our nurses directly. So they're getting real live data. They can ask medical health related questions, which our nurses are able to answer for them. And it's done in the nurses area, which is completely confidential. So we think this is a lot easier and a lot better. And our families that are participating in our new telehealth program are very, very happy with it. We're about to introduce remote patient monitoring into our centers so that we'll be able to take care of people even when they're at home and looking at some vital signs that are important. And that will come back to us and the nurses will monitor that information. So it's both monitoring in home as well as in our centers. And we're expanding our centers and expanding our reach. We're also offering, about to launch a new program called Studio 55 by SarahCare. We've had a lot of calls from active over 55 communities where, you know, people are living there and they're doing well, but one of the spouses or partners may need some extra care during the day. And so Studio 55 allows them to come to us during the day. A nurse will be there. They'll be able to receive the care they want with a very, very active programming, as opposed to having an aide or someone come into the home. So we're trying to do as many new programs. We beta test everything we do before we launch it, but those are the directions that we're moving for 2022.
Yeah, it feels like blending technology with all of the good things that you already have done, right?
Yeah, we have a really great community advisory council of which you've been a member, Pam. And one of the things they highly recommended to us last year was that we look at more technology and look at integrating more technology into what we're doing. And that it was a very good recommendation. It became part of our strategic plan, and we are moving forward with using more and more technology. Our remote patient monitoring allows you to take your phone and hold it up to your face, and it'll give you all the vitals that we need to collect. It's really
That's awesome. Everybody would like that, you know?
It's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So for somebody who's just tuning in right now, again, explain to them what SarahCare is and what you guys do, what your mission is.
So at SarahCare, we're taking care of primarily seniors during the day who need some type of care or supervision. And so we're staffed with nurses, and people come to us during the day for healthcare, as well as having great activities, great food, great fun. As I said before, we say 101 activities and home by dinner. We are strictly during the day. Right now, post-pandemic, we're open 9 to 4. But I'm hoping we're going to return soon to our hours of 7 to 6. To accommodate more working caregivers. And so if people are concerned about leaving their family member, or they feel as though they need to get out and they have to have more socialization, they're getting isolated, they're getting depressed, the family caregiver needs to go to work or needs some kind of respite during the day to do whatever they need to do, go to the doctor themselves, go to lunch with a friend or family member, actually go home and go to sleep for a few hours, all right, which is hard to do when there's other people in your home. We're there for them to take care of them during the day. And we're working with people to try to keep their functional abilities as high as possible. And so we do offer bathing services, personal care, hair services, podiatry, pedicures, manicures, audiology, as many services as possible during the day while they're with us. And then they go home happy.
And then the location, I guess we've not mentioned the location.
Right. So we have one right on Frank Avenue across from Kent State University. We also have one in Stowe and one in Strongsville in the Ohio area.
Okay, very good. Yeah. And they can find you online, right, at your website?
Right. It's www.SarahCare. It's SarahCare.com.
Very easy. And I think we should bring Cheryl back in one more time as well before we have to head off. And Cheryl, again, let folks know a little bit more about the program that you're offering in combination with SarahCare and how they can reach you to be able to get more information or to take part.
Great. And yeah, we've launched our pilot program with SarahCare, and we're so excited to explore this opportunity. And if you are a caregiver providing daily care for someone who has any form of cognitive impairment and could really use a break, and most of caregivers can, this is a great opportunity for you to try the service at no cost. We're providing between 4 to 8 hours a week, but we're really leaning towards that 2 times a week, 8-hour visit, because we feel that that's the most beneficial. And there's no cap on that. So if it's working out well and it's a good fit, we can continue to keep you on the program as long as the funds are available. So please give us a call at 216-206-8389 to inquire about the program, and we will talk to you about a few eligibility criteria that we have and hopefully get you connected to try out an amazing program. I can't say enough about how impressed I've been with SarahCare from the point that we reached out to talk about this opportunity and just learning about all the amazing services that they provide. It's really a wonderful resource for caregivers.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree 100%. People that don't know it exists, I'm glad we had this chance to share the information because there's a lot of people exhaling right now, I believe. And I thank you both. I thank you both so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. And I hope we get a chance to talk again soon.
Oh, I hope so. Thank you so much, Pam, for having us and giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
And thanks to the listeners for tuning in to Spotlight today. And we'll join us again for Spotlight next Wednesday here on 1480 WHBC.
Where's your mom? What's she doing? You'd